the monthly payment of the housing monthly payment for the person to less than 31% of their gross income. Now, 31% is what we call a ratio. And to explain to you what a ratio is in very, very simple terms is the following. Imagine a chocolate cake. Chocolate cake. You know, imagine a chocolate cake. And then you say to your wife, you know what, I want 1/3 of this cake. I want a piece that represents 1/3 of the cake. So she will come and she cut off one piece. That is a ratio. That 1/3 represents that piece of cake represents 1/3 of the entire cake. So the guidelines for loan modification is the following. They want to make sure that your housing payment, principal, interest, property taxes, insurance, and fees and whatnot represent no more than 31% of your gross income. That's the goal of the program. And how they accomplish that? This is the way that they will accomplish that. They will take your current loan balance and your current interest rate. They will reduce the interest rate by, I think, increments of 1/8, 0.0125. They will reduce the interest rate all the way to adjustable rate mortgage on the market today, which is around 3 1/8, okay? Which is traditional on the market right now. 3 1/8 is very traditional. Now, the guideline also says that they can go as low as 2% if they need to. They don't have to. They don't have to offer you 2%. But if you don't qualify at 3 1/8, and by lowering your interest rate to 2%, you will qualify, they can get you down to 2%. Okay, so that's what the guideline states. But Fannie Mae said they were not going to purchase any loans that has an interest rate lower than 2%. So 2% is the floor for that. They will increase the amount of years on the term from 30 years to 40 years. This is a 40-year product. It's an adjustable rate mortgage at a 40-year product with an interest rate of adjustable rate mortgage on the market, which is around 3 1/8%. That's what you have to remember. Now it says there, if by reducing the interest rate as low as 2% and increasing the amortization period to 40 years, they still cannot get the people to qualify because their payment is too high, they could take a chunk of the principal, okay? By the way, this is not principal reduction. Some people will always come to me and say, can I get a principal reduction? Oh, I heard my cousin got a principal reduction. Or my other lady got a principal reduction. No, they didn't get a principal reduction. They got a balloon payment. That's what they got. What happens is that the bank will take away, let's say, $100,000, and they will put it as a balloon payment against the property. You're not going to pay anything on interest or payments on this $100,000. So that way your principal balance goes down, so your payment goes lower. But here's the catch though. If you ever refinance your home, if you ever sell your home, or at the end of the amortization period, which is 40 years, you still have to pay the $100,000 plus interest. I don't consider that to be a principal reduction. Do you agree with me on that? That is not a principal reduction. And some people argue with me. They say, no, he got a principal reduction. And I argue back and I said, bring me the papers that he signed and notarized, and I will show you what that balloon payment is. Because the stack of papers is about this thick. And believe me, it's in there somewhere. You just don't see it because you haven't looked for it. But it's there. So there's principal reductions are just an urban legend. Principal reductions are an urban legend. There's no principal reductions for the most part. Now, somebody said to me, well, this is the only case that I know. And by the way, I always say, and sometimes in the class, not with you guys, but sometimes in the class, I see somebody raising their hand, and somebody says to me, oh, I got a principal reduction. No, you didn't. You got a balloon payment. And you say, no, I got a principal reduction. Send me the papers. No, I'll send you the papers tonight. I'm still waiting. Okay, I'm still waiting because I haven't got the papers. They probably realize that they are right and they're wrong now. So now the other thing is this. The only documented case that I have, that I know of somebody that I got a principal reduction was the following. The guy said, no, he got a principal reduction, got a principal reduction. I talked to the guy, and the guy said, well, what happened is, this is what he explained. What happened is when I purchased the home, they didn't tell me I got 2 loans. They told me about 1 loan. I didn't even know about the second loan. They actually forged his signature on the document. That's fraud altogether, right? The guy took the bank to the court, and the second was for $80,000. The guy took the bank to the court, and in the bank, there's a chair right there in the middle, right here. And the bank, because they didn't want to go through this whole thing about fraud and everything, they decided to settle, and they took away the $80,000. So they removed the $80,000, right, like a principal reduction of sorts. Then I said to him, and this is what I said to him, and I said, well, how long did that process take? And then he said, about 2 years. How much did you pay your attorney? $60,000. Okay, $60,000 to get a reduction of $80,000, I don't even know if that's worth it, you know? I mean, $80,000 amortized is only a payment of, $80,000 is a payment of less than $300 a month, and you have to pay $60,000 from your pocket to pay the attorney. I don't think that's such a great deal altogether. But that's the only documented case that I know. So that's that. So no principal reduction. Now, law modification is step by step. I can tell you this one thing here, and this is what I say. You know that we, all the agents in Prudential are charging, not we because I don't work for Prudential, but all the agents in Prudential are charging $3,000, $1,000 for the agent. If you follow this process that I'm going to show you right now, it's going to take you from beginning to end. It's going to take you about 4 hours to put a package together for law modification. 4 hours. $1,000 for 4 hours of work is not that bad. That's $250 an hour. Now, you have to follow the process, though, because if you don't follow the process, it's probably going to take you much longer than that. So let's start with step number 1. You have to let people know of the list of documents. Actually, you know what? Before I go into that, I think we should better take a break right now. It's 10:25. 10:25. Let's take a break until 10:35, 10:40. Okay, 10:40. We'll be back, please.